How in the world did a company that once pulled in a staggering $5.9 billion across a mind-blowing 9,000 global stores end up shrinking down to a single humble store tucked away in a small, forgotten town? And what in the name of business sorcery led to the downfall of a company that used to be the undisputed kingpin of the mobile phone business, boasting a colossal 51% of the global market share, only to witness a jaw-dropping 9% revenue nosedive within a mere 4 years? Guys, take a moment to ponder these two colossal companies. Once held as the almighty rulers of their domain, they went from dominating the scene to fading into obscurity in just a short decade or less. We're talking about Blockbuster and Nokia here. These giants, these titans of industry, were reduced to relics of the past. It's a stark reminder that no business, no matter how big or powerful, is immune to the winds of change. Now, the crucial question you should be asking yourself right now is this: if this can happen to these behemoth companies, what prevents it from happening to your business? In today's episode, we're going to unearth those common threads, those patterns that apply to not just these giant corporations, but to any business out there. But here's where it gets exciting. We're not just stopping at dissecting their failures. We're going to figure out how you can take these hard-earned lessons and apply them to your own business. We're talking about ensuring that your business not only survives, but thrives with longevity and adaptability. So buckle up because we have a lot to cover. So let's first talk about Blockbuster. Now, when you think about them, what is the first thing that pops into your head? Renting out DVDs, am I right? Picture this, back in the year 2000, when Blockbuster was riding high on their throne, the founder of Netflix walked into their boardroom with a proposal to partner with them. And you know what happened? They practically laughed him out of the room. Can you believe it? Fast forward to today, Netflix isn't just another fledgling company trying to latch on. It's a juggernaut. Its valuation, a staggering $200+ billion. And get this, they're not just distributing other people's contents anymore. Nope, they've evolved to an entertainment powerhouse. They're calling the shots, producing their own movies and TV shows. See, here's the key takeaway. Netflix was never just a mail-order DVD company, and they weren't satisfied with being just another streaming service. They had their eye on the big prize, becoming an entertainment titan. So what's a major pattern that can be used to apply to your business? Let's use multifamily apartment business, since it's near and dear to our heart. Now listen up, because this is a game changer. Your past success in a different business does not guarantee success in multifamily arena. Why? Because it requires a complete transformation. You've got to become a whole new version of yourself. You see, here's the deal. You're just one skill away from making your dreams a reality. But let us tell you, sitting around and watching TV won't get you there. Our traditional educational system often misleads us into thinking that learning is all about knowing stuff, and that mindset can lead to real roadblocks. It makes us believe that we already know everything, which then in turn stops us from learning new things. Now, here's a story for you. We often hear from newer general partners and capital raisers, and they say, I'm raising my first million and it's tough as nails. Raising money is no joke. How do you guys make it look like a walk in the park? So we dig a little bit deeper, and guess what we find? Some of them are trying to raise money by having dinner with a handful of friends who happen to have some cash. But here's the twist. Despite their best efforts, these friends are dodging investment pitches and ignoring information requests. And you know what they're doing to solve this problem? They're sticking with the same friends over and over again without any success. Honestly, this approach is like trying to swim upstream with bricks in your backpack. It's stressful, exhausting, and can even damage friendships. When you rely solely on your inner circle as potential investors, you're setting yourself up for a tough battle. And unless you're willing to shift your mindset and reinvent your identity, going from a one-to-one pitch to a broader audience, you'll keep hitting the brick wall. To successfully raise millions, you've got to break free from your current identity. Here's the game plan. You need to create a magnetism that naturally draws investors to you instead of you constantly chasing after them. And let us tell you, when you chase investors, they can smell the desperation a mile away, and there's nothing more repelling to them than desperate fundraisers. So what will it take to create a long-lasting, successful business? We hold our father in high regard as a remarkable businessman. He put in tireless effort, ventured into foreign land with no language skill, and managed to establish a successful business from scratch. However, the challenge emerged when economic dynamics began to shift and globalization became the new norm. Regrettably, he didn't embrace these new changes. Instead, he clung to his traditional ways, repeatedly drawing from the same source until it eventually dried up. He struggled to raise a new identity, and the outcome he achieved were a reflection of the reluctance to adapt. He lost it all. Listen up, because this is a you should write this down moment. Your identity should never be tied solely to your possessions and your achievement. Your fancy cars, your luxurious homes, or your bank account stacked with cash or your past success.
The moment your identity becomes all about what you have, you're in deep trouble. You've lost sight of the real secret sauce, the person you've become, and the skill sets that you acquired along the way.
You see, Blockbuster made the same mistake. They saw themselves as only a DVD company.
When new technology came knocking, they were left in the dust. But imagine they had identified themselves as an entertainment company or a movie company. They're probably still thriving today.
For you and your business, you are watching us right now. That means you are quite successful in your own right. You made it this far in the game, and then what?
But here's the deal. Success today does not guarantee a darn thing for tomorrow. Success requires intention, action, and continuous growth. But entropy, that sneaky decline or decay, creeps in when you do nothing.
It's like people who hit a certain level of success and then coast. They stop doing the very thing that got them there in the first place.
It's a pattern that keeps repeating, all because they've tied their identity to the possessions and their achievements, not to their actions and the qualities that made them successful.
Think about it. You could be running miles today, but then when you take a break for just a few days and your ability to run those miles fade away.
I'm an ex-runner, so I can speak to this. Just kidding. The endurance disappears because to truly intend to be a runner, you gotta keep running.
The same goes for being a top-notch general partner and capital raiser. You gotta keep innovating, keep being the person who takes that necessary actions to ensure a constant flow of money. The moment you stop, you become irrelevant.
The old ways of doing things won't cut it anymore. You can't rely on your existing list of investors because the game has changed.
Think about it for a moment. There's a sea of people out there all trying to raise money using the exact same method as you. Now, what are your odds of standing out? How can you ascend above the sea of sameness and truly shine?
In order to have all that you want with capital raising or your other business success, you have to reverse engineer the process.
Ask yourself, what new identity must I possess that will allow me to do the things necessary so that I can have the type of success I desire?
You see, we're all in agreement that as our business evolves, we all need fresh strategies and tactics, no doubt about it. But here's where some folks take missteps. They leap ahead, hunting for all sorts of fancy tricks and hacks that promises to set them apart. They want to be ahead of the curve, but they're missing a crucial point.
You have to look in the mirror and reflect whether or not you presently are the kind of person who can truly execute those new strategies or tactics. Do you possess the know-how, the skill set, or capability, or do you need to become that person first, the one who can confidently put those strategies into action?
This is where a lot of folks stumble. They're eager to get the goods, but they forget in order to have those things, they must first embody a new identity. It's a shift in identity that empowers them to take the necessary actions to do what it takes to achieve their goals.
Now that you understand that what got you here will fail you now, go watch this episode.